you ever get pulled over by a cop, be polite, be respectful, keep your hands on the dashboard, keep them on the wheel, right? Just don't make any sudden moves. The cop asks you for your license and registration or whatever, just take it out and give it to them and deal with the consequences, the ticket, whatever it is that they give you later. Save it for another day, at least live, come out of it alive.
Faith in the fight, light in the news, voices arise, justice grooves. This is Kingdom Political.
The father of an 18-year-old killed in an officer-involved shooting on Thursday. The suspect charged with aggravated murder. Here's ABC's Christiane Cordera.
Tonight, authorities say the shooting of an 18-year-old captured on police body cam is connected to the death of an Ohio deputy after that teen's father allegedly hit him with a car a day later. Prosecutors say the attack was calculated and premeditated. Cincinnati PD responding to reports of a stolen Kia at an apartment building Thursday morning. 4 suspects then fleeing police. Among them, 18-year-old Ryan Hinton. Body camera shows Hinton fall as he tries to run away. Police say they heard a metal clinking sound they believe was a gun.
He's got a gun! He's got a gun! On your right! He's got a gun!
As Hinton emerges from behind a dumpster, authorities say another officer firing 4 or 5 shots.
The officer says that he saw the suspect point the firearm at him.
Yes. Just 6 seconds passed between when police arrived and gunshots rang out. Officials say they tried administering medical aid. Hinton was struck twice and died. Investigators saying this gun was recovered from the scene allegedly found in Hinton's possession. On Friday, a day after that shooting and 2 hours after the Hinton family reviewed the body camera footage, according to the family's lawyer, a driver crashing a car into a Hamilton County deputy directing traffic near a commencement ceremony, killing him. The suspect, authorities say, is Ryan Hinton's father, Rodney Hinton Jr. Hinton's attorney calling the officer's death a horrific tragedy. At his first court appearance today, Hinton walked through a room packed with law enforcement. He's now charged with aggravated murder. The Hamilton County Sheriff says the deputy's death was a tremendous loss. Hinton Jr. is currently being held on no bail. His bond hearing scheduled for Tuesday.
Ridiculous. Yeah. I don't know what to say about that. First, the son gets caught in a stolen car. He has a gun in his hand as a young Black man. I mean, one of the things that we're taught about and that we tell our children, especially young Black men, is that you don't, first of all, you want to dress in a way that's not conspicuous. You don't want to walk out there, unfortunately, with hoodies on and masks and all that kind of stuff. But to go out there and get involved with the wrong element, get in a car and steal a car and then have a gun in your hand, that's crazy. And then you get out of the car with a gun in your hand and the cops are behind you.
No, you're right.
What do you expect? It's unfortunate because he's young, but the cop had every right to shoot him. He's loaded. He got a gun in his hand. And then for the father to come behind that and kill the cop the next day, it's a double tragedy, especially for that family. I wonder if this dude has other kids, if he's married, has a significant other. But now 2 lives are messed up. 2 lives are gone, And that officer was just doing his job. What was he supposed to do? Not fire on the kid and he got a gun pointing it at him?
Yeah. Something else that happened is, well, first of all, I want to say, I didn't think that you would have that viewpoint.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he was running away with the gun.
Mm.
And I don't know a whole bunch about the law, but when so Black Democrats are posting videos praising the father.
Of course they are.
Because they believe that what happened to the son shouldn't have happened because he wasn't, I guess. Where do we get this fairy tale thing where we believe that unless somebody is holding a gun pointing it at the police, then that's the only time the police need to
But
use the gun? You do realize that while somebody's running, and if they have a gun, they can just point back and shoot while they're running forward.
absolutely. But not only that, we saw a part of the video. There were other officers there.
Yeah.
So one of the officers claimed that he was pointing the gun at them. Now, I'm not sure if there's body cam to support that, but if this kid gets out of the car with the gun in his hand, and I'm not sure, I didn't hear if the cops told him to stop, put your hands up. I didn't hear all of that. There was so much commotion going on. But I would assume, being a retired law enforcement officer, that the first command that you would present, that you would write out, is to tell the dude to stop. Okay, stop, put your hands up. I mean, that's what we tell our kids, Van. And if you ever get pulled over by a cop, I remember telling my son, and eventually telling my daughter too. But you ever get pulled over by a cop, be polite, be respectful. Keep your hands on the dashboard, keep them on the wheel, right? And just don't make any sudden moves. The cop asks you for your license and registration or whatever, just take it out and give it to him, and deal with the consequences, the ticket, whatever it is that they give you later. Save it for another day, at least live, come out of it alive. But you getting out of the car with a gun in your hand, come on, man. And you're running? I mean, and honestly, in a situation like that, things could get real bad real fast. It only takes seconds for that dude to turn around and.
No, you're absolutely right.
So,
But you're reasonable though.
Mm.
The rest of the world isn't as reasonable as you.
well, you know how we grew up, right? Cops are bad. Black people were infringed upon our right to take it. And don't get me wrong, I grew up in New York, so I saw a lot of stuff. I didn't like cops growing up in New York. I know it's funny for me to say, being a retired correction officer, but that's the way I looked at them. I'm like, I just grew up seeing them do so much dirty stuff. I remember my brother coming home one day, and oh no, it was my mother. My mother, when my older brother got attacked. So she went to the precinct to look at mugshots. So she's going to look at these mugshots, and my little brother's face and fingerprints were in there. He'd never committed a crime. So come to find out, this particular precinct went to the public school that he was in, and did fingerprint ID under the guise that just in case the kids get lost, they'd be able to find them, blah, 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 blah. Yes.
Come on, that's dirty.
Yes. Oh my gosh. And I remember scolding my daughter, like, why didn't you tell us that they did this to you? So I know that they can be racist. I know that actually there were statistics that came out that mentioned that by the time a child hits the 5th grade, they know whether or not that child's going to be institutionalized in a prison based on his behaviors and his school grades and that sort of thing. And I always believe that they set up prisons just to make money off of it.
Yeah. They know they got some incoming.
Absolutely. Cheap labor.
Mm-hmm.
You got Corecraft, which is one of the major industries in prisons that make furniture. And these guys get paid 25 cents an hour. So, I know that happens. But when I look at a situation like that, I mean, you got to think these cops want to go home to their families too. So, I mean, maybe we can wait and get all of the information, all of the body cam from all of the officers. I know that when we're trained to shoot, we're trained to shoot to stop, not to kill. But You know, if someone has a gun in their hand, all bets might be off.
And all it takes is for one police officer to say they see a gun.
Yes. Yes.
But they actually found a gun in this case. So what he saw is what he saw.
Yeah.
And it made sense that, we got 4 young men running away. We don't know what they got. And now we do know that if this one has a gun, the likelihood of them all.
Right. And they're all running all over the place. I mean, an officer tells you to stop, man, stop. Stop, deal with the consequences, live another day. Maybe you go to jail. Maybe you are an accomplice in taking that car. Maybe you were going for a joyride, but I mean, who knows?